Right then, this is a quick walk around video for a Lexus RX 400 hybrid. This is the SR model, as you can see here, finished in astral black. Lovely looking car, 57 plate, 75,000 miles. Benefits from these side steps, which really add to the visual presence of the car. Really does look a fabulous looking vehicle. Go around the car for you. The front of the car generally very clean indeed, just the odd very minor stone chip over the 11 years or so on the road, but certainly exactly what you'd expect. I've got to do this in a funny old angle because the sun's directly behind me. It's not great for doing videos, unfortunately, as much as it's lovely to have it. Panels very clean in the panels, as you can see there. Front wing pretty much unmarked. Very good set of very high quality tyres all around on the vehicle, which is a very good sign of ownership. But they really do look fantastic in this colour, these cars. Come around the back of the vehicle, so it might get a bit glary now with the sun, I do apologise. Again, back rear bumper, very clean indeed. Back of the car itself has been kept very nicely, no skags or scrazes on there at all. And then to come down the near side of the car, again panel work very good. I mean, obviously, as you'd expect with any black car, there's the odd sort of brush mark, which most of which we just polish out with a bit of elbow grease. But generally speaking, it's very nice indeed. So overall, say certainly for a car of its age and mileage, it's a very handsome looking car and in very nice condition. So just to actually park the car in the shade, because the sunlight doesn't do any favours with the interior videos either. Absolutely huge rear boot, loads of little cubby holes, all the original tools and everything are in there. Lock and wheel nut keys there as well, wheel brace and everything. And then these forward ones, just press a button there and there. Whoops, daisy. And then you've got even more stowage. And you can actually fit the parcel shelf, or tonneau cover rather, in there if you obviously want to lock that out of the way. Coming to the back of the car now, these cars offer obviously a huge amount of rear leg room and they're beautifully finished inside. Leatherwork in the back there in really nice condition. Coming to the front passenger side, the black and silver trim really does look fantastic on these cars. Obviously electrically adjustable seats, heated as well. And they're still a very high specification car. It really does look fabulous in there. And just to come in the driver's door card there, clean as a whistle. Driver's seat itself in wonderful condition. I mean, these are beautifully made cars, of course. So sat inside the car now, engine's engaged during this part of the video, so you can actually see the dashboard illuminated. And dashboard itself is in beautiful condition. You see there, sat nav, standard equipment on these cars. If I pop it into reverse, you've got that lovely clear colour parking camera as well. But as I say, it's all in beautiful condition. These models are also equipped with the Mark Levinson stereo, so if you like your music, you'll love the sound system because it's absolutely brilliant. But really is lovely for this black and silver trim. Then you come across the main dashboard there. You can see 75,724 miles. No warning lights at all. You can see the ready is on there to say that the engine and the hybrid system is active on the car. But it really is a fabulous car in really lovely condition. Right then, this is a road test video and it's for a Lexus RX 400 hybrid. It's the SR model and it's registered FE57TZL, and mileage at the start of the road test is 75,724 miles. Reason for doing the road test is essentially so any prospective buyer of our cars actually gets to see the cars we're selling in operation. That way, if there's any issues on the vehicle which are immediate and obvious to you, you get to know about them straight away. We're acutely aware that lots of our customers come not just from the UK but all over Europe as well. So the least we can do is to go to time and trouble to do this for you. Road test is also done on the very quiet country roads, very close to our premises in this really wonderful part of Gloucestershire. Where it's said it's very quiet on road test here, albeit we're literally just 3 or 4 minutes from the motorway junction off the M5, so it's very, very accessible indeed. So coming to the car itself, obviously it's been very well maintained. It's just been serviced, just gone through a brand new MOT, independent of us, and went through without any advisories at all. The car obviously turn the key, goes straight into life, and nearly always just says ready on the dashboard. Sometimes the engine will kick in if it's cold or battery's a little bit low and it wants to charge it up, but it does so seamlessly and smoothly. But the powertrain, which I've often eulogised on these cars, if you've never driven a hybrid of this type before, it's a wonderful experience. It really is. It's pretty much the very definition of seamless in every single way it operates. The V6 is wonderfully smooth, but when it is vocal, it makes a lovely, lovely noise. It's a typical V6 in that sense. But then when in conjunction with a hybrid, when it's coming in and out of its various modes, it does so imperceptibly. It's just wonderfully, wonderfully engineered, and ironically its simplicity is what gives it its reliability, which is, you know, unmatched in its class, certainly compared to anything turbo diesel. It's also kind of the lack of gruffness, the lack of gear change, which is, you know, obvious because it's not there. You know, it's just you put your foot down, picks up speed, and there's no gear change. It's just wonderfully, wonderfully smooth. And CVT gearboxes work very well in cars with big engines, and this is a prime example of it. But it really is, as I said, it's a wonderful experience. I mean, you get in a real world economy. You know, I've always got better fuel economy out of these than any comparable turbo diesel of its era. And that's in real world motoring, not in kind of static road tests, as we know, are fallible and easily tinkered with. But there's no warning lights on the dashboard, temperature gauge running at just under 1/2, which is exactly where it should be on one of these cars. It drives absolutely perfectly. I'm in a good position to judge. I own one of these cars, or my wife drives one currently, almost identical to this car in terms of age and mileage. But we've sold hundreds of them, so you know, we know how they should drive and how they should feel on the road. Steering on the car, lovely and positive. It's not a sports car, it's very well judged, it's got a nice weight to it. Track's dead straight, there's no vibrations coming back through the steering wheel at this speed, or any speed up to the legal limit at which I'm allowed to drive. But it feels tight, taut, without any wear in it at all. It's very nicely judged. It said the weighting of it's really nice. It's not over light where it feels darty and vague on the road. It has a real substance to it. The chassis itself, what I'm looking for on road tests is just any kind of signs of wear, really. You know, things where you might get a few little thuds or clunks from underneath, which might not be unsafe, but they just make the car seem a bit old before its time. But there's nothing on this at all. It just feels rock solid. It really does. And the ride comfort is just amazing. It is so comfortable, this car. It's ridiculous. You know, they've clearly gone more for ride comfort over, you know, hurling it around the back lanes. You know, it's eminently capable through the corners. You get far less body roll than you'd actually imagine, given how comfortable the car is. But if you want something more overtly sporting, then you'd go for something like an X5. But an X5 is nothing like as comfortable as this. You know, this is in a different league. You know, for those few moments of fun, you know, that's the compromise I prefer. But that's, you know, it's an opinion, and it's what I prefer. So it's my preference. The brakes on the car are fantastic, by the way. It's a lovely solid brake pedal. You give them a thud, car comes down straight and true. There's no pulsing or vibrations coming through the brake pedal at all. On the move, you know, they are incredibly quiet and smooth. You know, there's very little road noise, very little wind noise, very little engine noise. In essence, it's a just a fantastically refined car. You know, where you can do. You know, I've been across France in these things, and you come out the other side not jaded and tired and feel as though you've driven to the moon and back. You feel actually relatively refreshed. Looking around inside the car, it's in beautiful condition in here, and this is build quality. If you want to know what build quality in a car should be, here you have it. I mean, they are just brilliantly made. There's not a squeak, a murmur from the interior. Everything works exactly as it should. The quality of the switchgear is absolutely second to none, and it's joyfully and blissfully easy to operate. I've always loved this era of RX because everything you press is pretty much what it does. Even for a technophobe like me, you can scroll through the menus on the screen very simply and easily indeed. It's very intuitive, but the whole display and the whole binnacle here and centre stack is just wonderfully driver friendly. Obviously it's a very well specified car, and this one, because it has this particular sat-nav system, also incorporates the Mark Levinson stereo, which, as I said in the previous walk-around video, is just brilliant. It's, if you like your music, particularly the high-pitched stuff and the bass and the it just captures really good music across all kind of genre really well indeed. As I said at the start of the video, the point of the video is actually to pick up on any issues that might be on the vehicle, and there's nothing at all. And that's not just saying it because I'm trying to flog a car. Quite the opposite. Yes, we're here to sell a car, but these are critical videos, and based on everything I know about these cars, this drives as well as any as I've ever driven. It is a wonderful car to drive. Having said that, it's quite often the case I've missed something on the video. Then please don't hesitate, do call us, and we'll happily answer any questions you might have about this car.